Tonight, we go behind the velvet curtain of the music industry to track the startling transformation of a global icon, asking the question, how does a world-renowned prodigy simply vanish hours before her biggest career milestone? For over a decade, the name Angelina Jordan was synonymous with a once-in-a-generation vocal talent, a child star who captured hearts barefoot. But as we move through 2026, the narrative has shifted from soulful jazz covers to a complex web of legal disputes and sudden exits. The most jarring moment in this timeline occurred during the 2025 Melodi Grand Prix cycle. Positioned as the heavy favorite to represent Norway on the global Eurovision stage, Angelina was the cornerstone of the competition's marketing. However, in a move that sent shockwaves through the European media landscape, she withdrew from the lineup just as the final rehearsals were commencing. This wasn't a standard cancellation, it was a total media blackout. Reports began to circulate about unforeseen circumstances, but the lack of a clear medical or professional reason fueled a firestorm of speculation on social media. Was it a breakdown in negotiations, or was there a deeper, more personal conflict brewing behind the scenes? Our investigation reveals that this moment wasn't just a missed performance, it was the catalyst for a total rebranding. While the public waited for a simple apology, what they received instead was a wall of silence from her management, marking the official end of the child prodigy era and the beginning of a high-stakes battle for her artistic autonomy. This sudden departure left a multi-million-dollar production in shambles and set the stage for a legal confrontation that would eventually reveal the true cost of fame in the modern era. But as the dust settled in Oslo, a new mystery was just beginning to take shape across the Atlantic. While the headlines focused on a missed show, the reality behind closed doors involved high-priced attorneys, a disputed designer wardrobe, and allegations of threats that reached the highest levels of national broadcasting. As the 2025 season progressed, the silence was finally broken by a series of explosive legal filings. The Norwegian national broadcaster, NRK, took the unprecedented step of filing a formal claim against the young star, demanding over 130,000 Norwegian krone. The documents detailed a bitter dispute over unfulfilled contractual obligations, including a surprising line item for an expensive designer dress purchased specifically for her Eurovision bid. To the casual observer, it looked like a petty financial squabble, but to industry insiders, it represented a bridge being burned in spectacular fashion. However, the narrative took a darker turn when Angelina's legal representatives introduced a security defense. They hinted at credible personal threats and safety concerns that supposedly made her participation impossible. This led to a massive debate. Was this a legitimate safety crisis or a tactical legal maneuver to exit a restrictive contract? Our sources indicate that during this period, the singer's family-led management team began to distance themselves from traditional industry structures entirely. The tension was palpable. On one side, a national institution felt betrayed, and on the other, a young artist claimed she was being forced into a situation that compromised her well-being. This wasn't just about a dress or a song, it was about the fundamental right of an artist to control their environment. Just as the court dates approached, the case was quietly settled, but the damage was done. The sweetheart of Norway had effectively cut ties with her roots, leaving her fanbase to wonder if she would ever return to the stage that made her famous. Yet, as one door slammed shut in Europe, a massive, independent door was being kicked open in the heart of the American desert. Forget everything you remember about the little girl singing Billie Holiday. By early 2026, Angelina Jordan has successfully pulled off the rarest feat in show business, firing the titans of the industry to build her own kingdom. The most significant development of 2026 isn't just a new song, it's the total dissolution of her partnership with Republic Records. In an era where major labels control every aspect of an artist's image, Angelina chose a path of radical independence. Sources close to the production confirm that she is now operating entirely through A&A Star Production, a family-run powerhouse that handles everything from global distribution to creative direction. This pivot culminated in a massive residency at the Westgate International Theater in Las Vegas, a venue synonymous with legends. Our reporters on the ground described the 2026 show as a sonic rebirth. Gone are the jazz standards that defined her youth. They've been replaced by the Secret of Love era, a haunting, sophisticated blend of modern soul and cinematic pop. Voice has deepened, carrying a weight and texture that suggests she's lived through every bit of the drama we've seen in the headlines. But the independence comes with a price. Without the backing of a major label's PR machine, Angelina is relying entirely on her massive cult-like digital following to sustain her career. This Vegas takeover is a litmus test for the future of the music industry. Can a 20-year-old artist truly bypass the gatekeepers and maintain a global career on her own terms? So far, the numbers suggest she can. The Residency has seen record-breaking ticket sales for an independent act, and her new material is charting via organic viral growth rather than radio payola. She continues to perform without shoes, a visual trademark that now feels less like a gimmick and more like a defiant statement of authenticity in a world of manufactured stars. As we look at the trajectory of her 2026 season, it's clear that Angelina Jordan is no longer waiting for permission to be a superstar. She is crafting a legacy that is as mysterious as it is massive, leaving us to wonder, is this the blueprint for the next generation of artists, or a singular phenomenon that can never be replicated?